What's going on, guys? We had some technical issues here tonight. I'm not going to say what happened, but it was due to some upgrades that didn't get upgraded the right way. Can you guys hear me, first of all, before we go any further? Please pipe in and tell me you can hear my voice. Otherwise, I haven't fixed anything. But anyway, apologies, but I'm by no means a tech wizard. So hopefully you can hear my voice. I think the cameras or the microphone was working. Yeah. So anyway, welcome. Come on in, sit down, chillax. We're gonna just have a little chat, little informal hello. Sunday night, I usually like to do these. But in any case, I usually start at 8:30, but whatever. It is what it is, right? But anyway, I wrote in the chat in the comments here, having issues, guys. So hopefully, Dr. Arts Hot Rod Rehab, who was in here, saw that message. But anyway, I'm live. So come on in, say hi. Got a fire going in the background there. It's not seriously cold out, but I like the heat. And you know what, guys? The weird part is I even wore underarm deodorant for you guys. I know you can't smell me, and it's probably a good thing, but but I wore underarm deodorant just special for this event. So just enjoying my coffee. Hope you guys are having a good night, good evening. I've been noticing some channels are getting frustrated with YouTube. Trying to build their channel, trying to get it larger, recognized and whatnot. And trust me, dudes, I understand entirely where you're coming from. It is frustrating. It seems that it relies more on an algorithm than anything else. I mean, I've seen some channels, I'm not saying mine's one of them, but I've seen some channels that had fantastic content and hardly anybody watching it. But yet you get somebody that I don't know, chops their finger off with a chainsaw cutting down a tree or something, and it get like 8 million views in an hour. You know, it's like these will it run videos. Well, of course it'll run, because if it didn't run, you wouldn't be making a video about it, right? So it's kind of funny, but whatever. The thing I think with this YouTube deal is just stay with it, keep doing it. Keep putting videos out. Try and make stuff that you maybe would like to watch. If you had a choice as to what kind of content you'd like to watch or see on another channel. Will Sanders in the house. How's it going, Admiral Sandwich, my buddy? Hey, do me a favor there, Will. Am I coming through my voice? I had some snafus with the old video audio deal here tonight. Can you hear me okay? Pretty good. Okay. Is the volume okay? Should I crank up the mic a little bit? I got to get it reset. Oh, sounds good. Okay. Right on. Wicked. Yeah, so I did some upgrades on my computer this week. I put in some new speakers and added a USB digital guitar cable, because I like to play on this thing called Cakewalk. It's like a virtual guitar amp simulation deal. I like to plug my electric guitar in and play. Well, it causes all kinds of hell with your friggin' setup, man. So I ended up like uninstalling drivers and adding drivers, and and I don't know anything. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I'm a complete clown show when it comes to anything to do with a computer, pretty much. But whatever, we're on here, so that's the main thing. Yeah, so I had some fun making the video you guys probably watched today about me splicing fenders together. The reason I did that rather than buy a set of fenders is if you read through the comments on that video, you'll find out why in a hurry. They're $500 to $700 for a pair of fenders for a Ranger. by the time they get to Canada. They want like $270 in just shipping alone. So I'm not going to do that, especially since I've got a big green Ranger sitting right there with good metal in it. So I just friggin' backyard built trucks. How's it going, man? Nice to see you. So I just figured, you know, I got 2 fenders sitting here that are solid. There's good metal in them. Why would I bother buying one when I have a welder? I just hack off the pieces I need and stitch them in. And so far it's been working out great, actually. It's going to save me a bunch of money, and there's going to be a little more finishing work involved doing it that way, obviously. And I was going to initially try and do it with the fenders on the truck, but you know what? I haven't had good luck doing it that way, so I figured I'd just take them off the truck. There's only like 8 bolts holding them on. They're dead easy to get off the thing. So yeah, so I mean, I paid $300, boys, for that race truck out there, and already I've gotten a rear end out of it, although it's welded, and I've got to do a bunch more work. It's got good glass, it's got a bunch of good metal, it's got a manual steering rack, it's got shocks, it's got brake components, it's got exhaust pieces. There's a whole pile of stuff on that thing. By the time I'm done with it, it'll look like a skeleton. There won't be a damn thing left of it. It'll just be a pile of bones. But anyway, that's what it's for. It's a parts truck. I never ever thought that I'd ever get to the point where something like a Ranger or like an earlier Ford truck parts would be hard to get for it, but here we are, right? And to be completely honest, parts right now, I don't know where you guys are in the States or wherever or in the world, are a nightmare right now. I'm having problems getting parts for motorcycles. I'm having problems getting automotive parts. I'm having problems getting any parts. There wasn't a single part come in this week at our local dealership here, our local Yamaha dealer. Nothing. And normally the Purolator and UPS and FedEx trucks are going in and out of there like a beehive. And there hasn't been a thing come through. So I don't know what's going on. If it's the beer bug, if it's that boat that some people are saying it's that ship that blocked up the Suez Canal, or I don't know, don't have a clue, to be completely honest, what's causing it. But anyway, so it was fun. I enjoyed doing that. I got another little video coming up where I finish the fender, and I'm going to spray some anti-corrosion stuff on the inside part of the fender. And then I have this other product that I use. It's called, what the hell is it called? It's basically, it's military grade Cosmoline. And you spray it on over your rust inhibitor paint, and it'll seal that thing up. You'll never have another spot of issues with it. The Ranger, I did that to the frame and all through under where the rocker sills are and all up where the areas where they normally rust to pieces 3 years ago, and I haven't had a speck of rust on that truck since then. Military grade Cosmoline. Jody, what's going on? Dr. Arts Hot Rod Rehab, what's going on? But anyway, yeah, so thanks for coming on here tonight, fellas. Like I said, if you're just joining me, I've had some problems with the old audio and the old video or the webcam here tonight. So we're getting that straightened out, and onwards and upwards, I guess, eh? Yeah, Jody and I were talking today about the weather, how craptastic it's been. And even in Missouri, where he's from, it's been kind of hit or miss. I haven't even gotten my motorcycle started this year, man. Like, I've been wanting to ride, but to tell you the truth, the roads are pretty crappy. Not just like, not ice and snow, but the leftovers from the snow plowing operation, they leave all these thousands of these little pebbles, and it makes the road really greasy, right? So I'm going to kind of wait until things dry up a little bit anyway, if they ever do. But anyway, I want to get the wind of my hair, you know, my white hair flapping through the air, and let my freak flag fly a little bit, right? That's kind of what I like to do. But what's Will saying here? My weather is just warm enough to ride with the windows down. Yeah. So, I mean, the country's, like United States, Canada, is starting to smarten up. I don't know about the rest of the world, but it's starting to get there. what's my man saying? It is taking me 4 to 6 weeks to get stuff. All parts have gone up in price. Summit Racing has been short. Yeah, you know what? I notice. I know exactly what you're saying. I've been having one hell of a time getting parts, man. Like seriously, even more than normal, because Canada, we've always had trouble getting stuff. But I've ordered tons of stuff from Summit, and they're, it seems like they're out or back ordered on just about anything that you need, including little fittings and stuff. But anyway, I guess, yeah, keep us updated with that stuff, boys, because I like to hear what's going on down in the States too. Can't wait to get my scooter out and fix the freaking roads. But yeah, up here too, Jody. If you go to my cruising with Hammerhead video, you'll see exactly what our roads are like. RP34. That's exactly it, man. Thank you. I got the black stuff. It's not clear. It's chassis black, so it goes good with my truck. What I do there is I put the anti-rust paint like all over the prep, the shit out of it with that RP342. The stuff is the shit, let me tell you. It's expensive though. I think I paid $100 Canadian for 3 little cans of it. It's not. It comes in like a can no bigger than that, like whatever that is. But it works really, really awesome. Let's see here. When I was driving today, the workers tore out a large piece of the like to fix it, or they just tore it out because they had nothing better to do, or they were just being clowns. Yeah, the roads they've always been craptastic up here. Someone was asking me, why don't you lower your Ranger? And I looked at him and was like, you've never driven in Nova Scotia, have you? Because you can't lower them, man. Lowered vehicles don't last around here because they end up like blowing the oil pan apart, or worse. The roads are so rough that the stock suspension on most automobiles can't keep up. The shops around here, like that do suspension work, they're going constantly, like steady. Ball joints, drag links, friggin' shocks, springs, struts. It's just, they're non-stop when they can get the parts. They're busy as hell because the roads are just garbage. The province here says that they're poor, they don't have enough money to fix the roads, but they have enough money to go out in their sailboats, the executives, and party hardy, but they can't fix the roads. Come on, right? Besides that, a percentage of your gasoline tax is supposed to go towards fixing the roads, but it doesn't, right? No one can fit under a Ranger with stock height, especially me with a beer belly. I got caught the other day. I was crawling under there, and I got hung up on the side pipes. Well, I couldn't get my gut past them, so that's why I tried to get it up on the ramps and failed miserably. Next time I do that, boys, by the way, it's going to be a thumbnail for one of my videos. 12 cans is $134 on Amazon. Yeah, that's American though, right? Yeah. But it's good stuff. I highly recommend that stuff. That's why I'm against a lower truck. Yeah. Well, it just doesn't work out here. Like, it just never does, right? Jody. Yeah, like, you know, I got caught under the thing, man. I was kind of panicking for a second because I wasn't sure if I had to yell for the wife or what was going to go on, but I got out from under it. When I go to put the 8.8 in it, I think, Jody, you and I talked about this before. I don't plan on doing the axle underneath, or sorry, the leaf spring underneath the axle. I plan on putting it up above like Ford did. But what I'm planning on doing to lower it a bit is just to move the shackle at the back, just flip it around. And supposedly that'll lower it probably about 1.5 inches, 2 inches, which is just fine for me, right? I don't want to go any more than that. 2 inches max. And even then, they recommend you have a lowered shock absorber, even for that low of a lift, or sorry, a drop. Just make sure you got enough travel to keep the ride height in, the camber and all that stuff when you're doing the front, you know. Unless I'm building a gasser, in which case I'll have her sitting like that, you know, I'll put a solid drop axle on the front, big Ford one, and make a gasser out of her. How's your truck running anyway, Jody? You probably haven't had that out again. I know you had it running because I saw the video of it. It sounded awesome. Shackles, yeah, that's what I plan on doing. You can either flip them around, or I think they even make a dropped shackle for the Ranger. Bronco 2, Ranger. Pretty much, well, not all the parts are interchangeable, but very similar. Yeah, because I was talking to Kick-Ass Mustangs Garage, and he was telling me, well, the parts boys got Ranger fenders up here for $52. I'm like, okay, that's nice. So I went and looked at it. $52 each. Convert that into American money. That's like $75 Canadian. And then they wanted $267 Canadian for shipping, plus 15% HST tax, plus I forget how much for the import duties coming into Canada, plus. By the time they arrived here, they'd be $500-600 easy, right? Running real good. Just put the Walbro 255 pump in. Dyno coming up finally. Sweet, man. When you do that, I'd love to see that for sure. Walbro 255, that's a good pump. You'll not run out of fuel with that. I'm just glad I got this damn microphone and everything working and camera, because, you know, not that you guys want to see my lovely locks or anything, but it's just I frigged it all up. Like I was frantically in the back of my computer here. Let me show you. Frigging with all these things, right? Trying to figure out what goes where, you know, all this BS, and finally got it so that it's semi-decent. Yeah. What's the details on your truck, Jody? You can tell them there in the comments. It's a nice unit. Dr. Art has a nice Ranger as well, Jody. I was wondering why you hadn't started at the time. Yeah, you gave me shit before because I was a minute off. You must have been freaking out because I was over a half an hour at this point. But in any case, I got it sorted out. It's different for the young generation. All they do is just go on their iPhone and friggin' flippity flappity, and they make a few connections and boom-o, they're up working again. But us old fogies, it doesn't work that way for us. Everything takes 100 times longer. But whatever. The main thing is we're here, right? And I'm still screwing with my webcam. But anyway, I can't blame anybody else for it. I'd like to, but I can't. I actually did it 100%. I frigged it up. But anyway, yeah. So I got to finish the fender, and then the door has some scabbies on it, on the driver's side door underneath, where it almost looks like it's pushed out. I think there's some fill or fiberglass or whatever the heck's in there. So I've got to flatten all that out straight, and then probably weld in another little piece of metal in the door runner, like not the bottoms of the door, but on the skin, the outside skin. So I'll check that out and probably do a video on that, just stitching it together. But the new welder works awesome, boys. It's perfect for light gauge sheet metal. If you just tack it, like you don't try and run a bead. I did run a bead off camera on a bigger piece of steel, and it works just fine. What's Jody saying here? Twisted wedge heads, heavily ported milled, ported upper and lower, Explorer intake, Anderson can. Yeah, it's a nice unit. That thing should make some power for sure. Put a link, Jody, to your channel in the comments here so other people can follow you. Actually, you know what? I want to get links to all. I got most of your guys' channels anyway, but I'm going to start doing some shout outs during the week to your guys' channels and help try and push some traffic your way. I was just, if you go back and look at the first part of this video, the first few minutes of it was me ranting about YouTube. Hoping with 65 pounds of fuel pressure, the 24-pound injectors should flow like 30s. At least that's the plan. Yeah, I don't know about that. It's hard to say. You'll know right away on the dyno, Jody, if you're running out of fuel. You'll be able to see. I can't see it happening, but you know, especially since you're not forced induction, you're running NA. I think you'll be fine. A friend of mine just made 323 horsepower at the wheels, and he's got a setup fairly similar to yours, but his is a bit different. He's running twisted wedge 11R heads. I think he's running Keith Black hyper-eutectic pistons, about 10-to-1 compression. He's running speed density though, which is an older type of fuel injection. Oh, one other thing that's good news, boys, for guys that like Ford stuff. 50 Tussin, my buddy Rodney is back on. He made a couple of videos. He's going to start throwing some videos together. I had a little chat with him this week, and he's going to start making some videos again. I told him, look, don't bother editing them. If anything, just throw them. Just let her buck. Just throw them on there. People will watch them. They like his stuff, right? I asked him how the view of the sky was through the windshield. If you look at his latest video, the old fail TDs, like she's at like a 60-degree arc. He's looking straight up into the stratosphere when she launches. I was Rodney earlier this week. Oh, were you? Tell us more. Watching. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah. He follows my channel here too. He's commented on some of my stuff. And we had a pretty cool thing last week. We had Nick Panaritis from Nick's Garage up here in Canada came on our live stream. He's a fan of our channel as well. And actually, he even mentioned our channel, or Hammerhead Garage, on his live stream on Friday night, which is kind of cool. So that's it never hurts to have fellows like that are following your stuff. It just blows me away that man's so busy. He runs Indy Automotive in Quebec, and he still has time to check out my foolishness, which is cool, you know, when you think about it, because he's got a limited. We all have a limited amount of time, but he's definitely balancing a lot of different, wearing a lot of different hats. But yeah, so. Do the body work, get the parts for the rear end. That's coming. See, the problem is though, is that I'm kind of doing this on a get paid, get part basis. So I'm having trouble getting parts that I need to finish up the projects that I'm working on to get the money I need in order to buy the stuff I need for my project. If that makes any sense, right? So it's kind of a catch-22 situation all the time with that stuff, but you know, you just do what you have to do. We'll figure it out. But I'm going to order a True Track limited slip with the carbon clutches and everything right from Ford Motorsport one. We'll put that in, set of 410 gears. We'll set the backlash and everything, and we'll send it. We'll paint it up and stick it in there. Yeah, if you just go to YouTube, Jody, and search up your channel, and then when you get the link up top, just copy and paste it down in here into the comments section. I think that will work pretty good. That's generally what I do. Like for instance, let me do it just to prove that it works. Okay, so just go to my videos. I'm doing this live time, so we'll see if it actually works. Yeah, so like for instance, if you're wanting to know how to get to my channel, you just do something like this. So there's that link should take you. If it will or not, I don't know. I'm not computer smart either. I don't even know if that's a link, but if you copied and pasted that into your browser, that would probably take you to my channel, I'm guessing. Oh, don't worry, Jody. I'm not computer savvy either. I know just enough to make the computer not work. Right? That's about it. Any more and I'd be completely friggin' dangerous. So yeah, it's been Socksville outside. It was snowing the other morning. It's been wet and cold, miserable. So this morning I get up, I had my coffee. A friend of mine lives up the road, wanted me to come over and look at his ATV because he was having some sort of issue with it. So I had to go down and get water anyway. So I was like, yeah, I'll come over. So I popped over there and had a look at his machine, and we chatted about that for a bit. And that's pretty much the highlight of my day. Come home and, just frigged around most of the afternoon. Kind of took her easy. You go to the community tab, you can see a comment Jody made and click on. Yeah, you can do it that way too. Will found an old comment of mine. I was being a bit of a smartass this week on someone's video. They were talking about like the 2 rarest Mustangs in the world. And I had mentioned in there, just kidding, of course, that I had one of those cars. There was only 2 of them, and I had one, and I was using it as a chicken coop. And that I would sell it back to them for a cool million if they were on board for that. He got a chuckle out of that. It's funny how we're all part of the same community, and a lot of us graduate towards the same kind of stuff, right? Yeah, but anyway, that's the way it is, right? We're a community, and yeah, like YouTube can be unforgiving. A lot of is your content, but a lot of it too is the algorithm, how it decides to show it to people, how many views you get and stuff, and like the best way to do it though is the way that the buddy from Coastal Auto Reaction Easy was saying. It's a community, not a competition. So it doesn't matter how many subscribers you got, it makes no difference. We're part of the same community. We're all gearheads. I think everybody that's part of my YouTube world is a gearhead like myself, so that's why we're doing it, right? No one's ever going to make $1 million unless you're like some super channel where you put a 2-second video of a cat having a crap in the yard and it gets like 1 million views or something. And there are channels for some reason that, if you want to see how retarded some of that is, just go on TikTok and look at what gets the highest view counts. It's just amazing, right? But anyway, it's Will saying there are at least 200 special old Mustangs. Yeah, there are some rare ones for sure. But I think the guy was a little too into it, so I figured I'd just bring him back to reality. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's almost like when I was watching Cold War Motors, you know how they do the mail call sometime up in the bar, and Dean's always hammered, and they're doing mail call, and they're opening up all these packages from people, and Scott's like, I don't know why people send us all this great stuff, and they send it to a bunch of skids like us, right, out here in Alberta making car videos, right? So I mean, that's just the way it is, right? But I mean, not gonna lie to you, it never would hurt to get a little extra money at the end of the day. I mean, who couldn't use a few extra bucks? Put it towards your channel, or put it towards making T-shirts, or buying parts, or whatever you're into, right? Well, you know what, Will? You may not see any special Ford Rangers now, but let's see if you can go find a Ford Ranger GT. You know what I'm talking about? I'm sure you do. An 84 or an 83 Ford Ranger GT. Go Google search that. See how many of those trucks are around. So that's kind of rare. And I think these trucks, they're only going up and up in value. Even though it's a Ranger, I think I think they're going to be collectible, to be completely honest, at some point. Not that I'm keeping mine for that reason. You guys all know why I picked the Rangers, because everybody and their dog has an S10, and they're just cool. and they're a cheap hot rod. They're light, and you can make them fast with spending almost nothing. Yeah, extra money is always good. I mean, who couldn't use an extra $200 a month or whatever it is, right? Had one using it as a chicken coop. Yeah, the guy, I had a few thumbs up, but I'm sure he wasn't too happy about that comment. Turbo build is kind of on hold, Jody. I've decided to try and see what I can make with what I got right now. I want to put that rear end in the truck. I want to do a bunch of brake and suspension upgrades so it'll handle the power. And I'm going to start fooling around with gears and stuff. I had the truck out for a chooch once this year in Mexico, and I was going fairly fast. I was leaning on it pretty hard, and it's quick. It's really quick. So I kind of want to see what I can do in this deal. I'm not saying I'm not going to boost it. I'm just saying right now I'm going to put it on hold and just see what I can do with what I have and try and get some of the stuff that I should have done in the first carnation when I put the V8 in this truck done, so as to make it a little more dependable, safer, probably quicker. Like right now the truck has no gear in it at all. Like I'm running 342s with an open differential. So if I put a set of 410s in there, I really believe this thing's going to be an animal, right? It really will be. And when I get the 8.8 in it, boys, you know what comes first once I get the rear end broke in? Burnouts. Lots of burnouts. Everybody likes burnouts. You can put a burnout video of your mom's Chevette and it'll get 20,000 views because people love, they especially love it when it's not your vehicle, their vehicle you're abusing. So it seems to be, right? 10 years your truck will be damn rare. Well, it's rare in Canada right now, Will, because like I was telling you guys last week, I've only ever seen one other Ranger on the road, like a Gen 1 Ranger, living in this province. And there's none around like my truck. I can guarantee you that. They're all big piles, like big pointy pyramid style piles of rust. I know where there's a bunch of them sitting in the junkyard. I know where there's a few sitting in fields. I know of an 83, an 84, and an 85 right now offhand. There's some good parts on it, but they're not on the road, and they haven't been on the road since like the mid 90s, right? Well, they rot, man, because, well, you know why. They use so much bloody salt on the road here in the wintertime. It's ridiculous. The salt and the sand and the water, and now they've got liquid salt, which is like a brine. I think they call it salt brine that they're spreading with big tanker trucks on the road. So that's not helping either. So now, because your rock salt couldn't get in certain areas on your vehicle, well, now they've went and fixed that by having a brine they can spray on to make good and sure it gets into all the little nooks and crannies. But I mean, that's up to you too. I mean, just about everybody undercoats their vehicles up here if you don't want the body to stay good on them. Usually in the fall of the year, September, October, November, they'll take them in and get them sprayed. They leave rubber plugs in the door jambs and in the doors and in the body and the rockers so they can get their wand in there, spray fluid film or transmission fluid or whatever. Just something in there to keep the rust at bay, right? I'm here in Missouri. Where's everyone from? I know Sean is up in Canada. I'm in Nova Scotia, just outside of Wolfville. Stock 8.8 axle, the same size as the Dana 80 axle, which is why they're so tough. Yeah, there's different lengths though. Like I was looking on Summit, and they have an 8.8 axle, and it's like certain year, and one of them is like a 29 or a certain like 29 30 seconds, and the other one's like a 29 and a 16th or something. There's like a couple of different lengths axles. Now I know my Explorer rear end, the driver's side axle is about 2 inches longer than the passenger side, but I'm going to try throwing a seal in that driver's side and see if I can seal it up. If I can't, I'll either have to try and get a ready sleeve for the axle, which I probably won't be able to do, or just replace it. Like I was telling you guys, 9 times out of 10, if they won't seal up, it's because the axle's worn where the seal sits. And in order to fix it, you have to either weld it up and grind it down, which I'm not good enough of a welder to do that, or just replace the axle. Yeah, Art's Will's in Delaware. Art's in Nashville, Tennessee. I compared them, what am I doing, 80 for my F350 dually and a 90 Explorer, same diameter. Yeah, should be 31 spline, I believe. Yeah, go sub to Backyard Build Trucks. He's got a great channel there. He's got a really cool S10, boys, like unbelievable. Leavenworth, is that Kansas? Yeah. But anyway, I'm gonna start doing shout outs to your guys' channels, help to drive some more traffic. But do me a favor, tell some people about this channel. You know, help me out too if you can. Tell if they don't want to subscribe, get them to come to a live stream. We do them every Sunday night, and tell them to jump in on the comments and just throw some stuff up there. Like I want to hear from everybody, right? And it's not a competition. I just want to hear how you guys are doing and what you're doing. Like that to me is cool, right? Yeah, right on. Cool. Yeah, Dr. Art's Hot Rod Rehab. He has a live stream every Sunday night at 7:30. So I was on his stream just before I came to discover that my stuff wasn't working. So if you guys want to check his live stream out, him and his wife are on there, and it's always a good time. Lots of good discussion goes on there. 35 spline axles and the 8-point under the S. Yes, I know you do. That's heavy duty stuff. But that engine's putting out some massive horsepower, I'd be guessing, even under low boost. So you can, it's never a bad idea to go overkill than you think you're going to need. I think 31 is probably going to be more than enough for what I'm going to be doing, the foolishness I'm going to get up to. You know, and I can't, the tracks still aren't open around here, and it's looking like the race season for Greenfield Dragway, which is like 2 hours from my house, is not even going to happen this year. Again, for the second season. So I'm going to get a draggy though, boys. And the wife has agreed to let me use her phone because I got a flip phone and you can't put a draggy app on that stupid thing. So she's going to let me use her modern phone so that I can, you know, see what effect gears are having. And there's a few things I can do to the engine yet too. I haven't pulled all my rabbits out of the hat yet, boys. So there's a few other little tricks that I know of that'll pick up some power and won't sacrifice the drivability or reliability too much. So we're going to go down that avenue too. Oh no, back on the flip phone. Yeah, I'm a flipper, man. I'm a flipper from way back. I like the flip phones. I got to be honest. And part of the reason I like them is because as a mechanic, I work on concrete a lot, and I drop the phone fairly often. And the worst thing I've ever had happen to a flip phone is the battery will pop out of the thing, and then you walk over, pick it up, plug it back in, close it, turn it on, it works. Try that with an iPhone that doesn't have a case in it, or an Android phone that doesn't have a case on it. The thing just disintegrates. And they make them that way on purpose too, boys. Don't think for a second they don't. Oh no, back on the flip phone, yeah. Can't get away from my inability to change, Will. I'm not a big technology guy. That's what a case is for, yeah. But you'd be surprised, dude, how many people don't friggin' use a case, right? Can you guys post link to your accounts? Definitely. Just hang on a second. I'll see if I can find your channel, Jody. Might be able to find you. It's just under Jody, isn't it? Just checking here. or even a link to your video would help us find your channel. What's your channel called? Is it just Jody? People I see with Androids hardly ever have a case. Yeah, I don't know why that is, but I don't think they're that much money, are they, for a friggin' case? Yeah, I'm looking here for your channel. I can't see it at the moment. But anyway, I will find it, and we'll post it up here in the next stream. But, yeah, so... yeah, so if 50 Tussin, if Rodney has shown me anything, and he's shown me a lot because the dude's smart, okay, is that you can get a tremendous amount of power out of the stock-ish type Ford setup. Now, I know exactly everything he's done to that LTD, and it's not that outrageous, boys, to be completely honest. It's pretty well a standard type deal. He's running GT40 heads at the moment. They're ported, but they don't flow huge amounts of air. He's going to be going to Flowtech heads because I've convinced him of those things, and they actually put them on the flow bench and found that my numbers were pretty low compared to the numbers they were getting. So he's going to be switching to those. He doesn't have an X-Cam in it anymore. He's running a Crowler 53115, I think it is, or 113 cam. It's a pretty good roller cam for his setup. He's running a Victor Jr. single plane. He's running a Quick Fuel 650 carburetor, jetted fairly rich, I think. He's running an aluminum flywheel. He's running a Slipmaster 1000 clutch, an 8.8 with C-clip eliminators, 513 rear gear, and a stud cover that supports the main studs in there. He's running a 26 by 10 stiff wall slick. He's running 31 spline 4-lug Mustang style axles with Moroso extended long studs in it. He's running a 2-step. He's running an MSD 6AL box, and he just pulled off a 684, I believe it was, at like 100 miles an hour in the 8th mile in that LTD. So yeah, one other thing I did notice, so he's gone and he's cut all the metal out of the doors, like on the inside of the skin, and he's gutted the trunk lid completely, taking all the bracing and everything out of it. His weight, right? It's all weight. Sub to all guys on here. Yeah, definitely, man. We got to support each other, right? Keys and phone in the same pocket while working on a car don't mix well. No, they don't. I'll tell you what else doesn't mix well is your bank cards, driver's license, or anything with any type of a chip or a friggin' the backing on those things with like keys or with change. So all my cards, I have them covered with like little plastic things over them so they don't get all beat to hell, which normally ends up happening anyway. The LTD is gutted. Yeah, he's got it gutted. He likes them light. It's got a tubular K member on the front too, tubular uppers and lowers to get some weight to the rear, right? It's got the battery in the passenger side where the seat would be. Flowtech makes a damn nice head. You know what, buddy? Remember I asked you your opinion of them when I was getting mine? I am 100% convinced on Flowtech heads. My engine, when I put those things on, I ported them and stuff, and I took them to the flow bench and had them flowed. My engine picked up a pile of power, not just in the high end, but all through the mid-range, everywhere. It picked up a lot. And like when I did the numbers, I found that they'll flow 500 horsepower all day long, the 180cc heads. Now the 190s and the 210s and stuff will probably flow even more. I leave my keys on my belt with the carabiner, and I'll be standing against something working metal, and then comes the hell out of it. You know what I think about when I hear about that? Have you guys ever watched Wayne's World? If you haven't, I highly recommend you go back and watch that. Do you remember the scene when Garth had the air gun and he was in the garage and he was like playing with it and he was like pretending he was Darth Vader, and then he zips a great big line across someone's expensive BMW? I laugh every time I see that. But yeah, he's hauling the mail, man. And that T5 he has in that thing, it's not anything that special, to be completely honest. It's got a different gear set in it. It's got hardened keys, a cluster support, just the regular mods. But it's no T5Z. It's none of that. It's just a world-class T5 with some extra few things added to it, right? And he's power shifting that thing. I asked him the other day, I said, "What are you running?" He goes, I have a 6600 RPM chip in the MSD box." So he's leaving at 6600, 6500. The other night, though, he only did a couple of passes because I guess the track prep wasn't very good, and I noticed that he was spinning. And Rodney hates that when the track isn't up to par. Well, I mean, obviously, right? And he also told me that he's gonna try not to do 20 passes a night because he wants the short block to live. The short block in that thing, boys, is 250,000 miles plus the short block on that engine. So it's not fresh. Spending my house key one day against the mailbox to get inside. Yeah, I always get nervous if you ever bend a key, because you know if you bend it back, it's not going to be a good day for you. You're going to have very bad luck with that. So I'm always very careful how I bend keys, if I even do bend them. Moparnut 62, what's going on, my man? How are you doing? Well, seasoned block, yes, sir. Yeah, she's seen some heat cycles, I'd say. And it's just a stock roller block. I think you said it was out of a 95 Mustang. It's got the cast crank, cast rods, cast pistons. You know, so that just proves that you don't need $1 million forged rotating assembly to make power. I mean, if you guys convert a 674 or 680 into quarter mile times, that's in the low 11s, I believe, boys, without just doing the math in my head. That's pretty damn quick. I bent it just enough back to get inside. Yeah, I bet you did. Because every time you turn like you bend a key or something and you try and like put it in back in the lock and you have to bend it to get it in there, that's when I get my most nervous, because usually she goes snap and there's like nothing left to get pliers on to pull it out of there. But in any case, speaking of keys, I've got the original keys for this Ranger of mine, and I should by rights. I've got a blank even sitting on the thing, and I haven't even gotten off my lazy butt and gone out and got that thing copied. I should probably do that. Wouldn't be a bad idea. The 5.4 Ford engines. I don't know. That's a modular, I guess, is it? I'm not a real big fan of the new stuff. Just Wrench It. Hey man, how you doing? I was on your live stream the other night for a minute, just checking things out. 290 plus thousand miles on that short block. I know, man. Like, that's what I'm saying. You don't need a great big high expensive falutin deal to get going fast, right? Yeah, you know about those 5.4s. I don't have a lot of experience with the modular stuff. I'm an old school pushrod kind of deal. Living, yes sir. Okay, but you can't boost them for long. Is that the EcoBoost engine? If I can get my hydraulic clutch lined out, I'll make it to the track. Yeah, it's not hard to do, man. Mine works flawlessly, dude. So if you need any help with that, just get a hold of me. I'll steer you in the right direction. I'm using the slave cylinder out of an 81 Datsun 280Z. You can go to Napa and get them. They're like 20 bucks, 25 bucks, probably less in the United States. And I'm using a 3AN braided steel line. I think it's 58 inches to the stock Ford master cylinder with a connection that I brazed in to convert the AN line over to the Ford line. Works like a hot damn. A buddy wants to turbo a 99 S10. I said no. There's lots of people doing that. There's no question. It seems like everybody's running S10s. I'm going to go Man Duty 1. How bad are they for everyday use? A 5.4. I don't imagine they'd be any worse than anything else, really. You guys go check out Mopar Nut 62's channel. He's got some cool stuff going on there too. I was over checking out some of his videos. And I was just saying tonight we should try and support each other's channels, right? So I'm going to start doing some shout outs to your guys' channels to send some traffic over, and I'd appreciate the same, right? Art's had these engines, it sounds like, so he knows about them. Everyday use 5.4 is fine. Right on. They're pretty wide engines, though, are they not? I don't think you'd ever get one of them in a Ranger, like a Gen 1. Yeah, 5.4 liters of great everyday use. Yeah, there you go, man. Perfect. These boys will steer you right. Terminator Cobra 5.4 twin turbo TH400 trans behind it with 1200 horse. Yeah, holy whistling. I think that's enough power to light the tires and smoke the fires. Yeah, right on, Art. Cool. Yeah, he's a good guy. He's got a good channel. So those are the 5.4. That is an EcoBoost engine from Ford, is it not? Oh, they are wide, is what you're saying. So it's a wider engine platform because it has overhead cams, does it not? I'm pretty sure it does. If the 4.6 has overhead cams in it, I believe. So twin overhead cam. So it would be wider. Not an Eco. Oh, just an overhead cam engine. Okay. Yeah, I'm not up on the modern Ford stuff too much. I'll tell you though, I am looking at a color right now for my truck. Have you guys ever heard tell of Leadfoot Gray? If you haven't, go check out that color. I'm thinking about a two-tone deal. Gray on the sides and then black hood, black roof on the Ranger. Triton engines use yeah, I heard they're the friggin' nightmare in some of them engines. The F-150s, some of them had a hell of a time getting plugs changed. They'd break off, and have they gotten any better? Because I know for a while there was somebody making a special tool. I think someone came up with a special tool for those Triton engines to get the plugs out of the damn things. Yeah, because I know the 4.6 EcoBoost and the F-150s and stuff, the Tritons had a hell of a time with the plugs. Yeah, Will, I had a chance to check out that Damnation, I call it, the Windsor short block with the 317 or 316 LS style heads. And the guy's got like 8 or 9 videos there. I watched them all. It runs okay. I don't know if he had any advertised horsepower numbers or not, but I don't know what it is, boys. I just can't get behind the whole LS craze. I can't. There's something preventing me from doing it. Damn, the water pump is internal. Yeah, a lot of them modern cars are that way, Jody. Hyundai and Honda, to name 2. 4.6, 5.4, 6.8 V10, all have issues with plug threads pulling on early engines. Not something. And now my buddy Sean Cadden from this guy's garage, there's another good channel. Go check him out. He had a 2018 F-150, one of those 10 speeds, and it burned so much bloody oil, the thing was ridiculously bad. He got rid of it. That's like a $50,000 truck. They're not giving those away. Naturally aspirated with the dyno. Was that what it was? I never caught the power number. So it was 400 horse. Well, you don't need a LS top end to make 400 horsepower. A 351 Windsor is capable of 500 with the right parts without even stroking it. And I found an engine that I'm keeping an eye on. A friend of mine has it. It's in Canning. And it's, if you guys ever heard tell of a 393 Windsor stroker engine, anyway, he has one. Okay, it's all brand new. It's got Ford Motorsport performance heads on it. It doesn't have an intake or a carb or any of that, but the whole engine's there. It's got roller rockers. Really nice piece, like really nice. And he's asking pretty reasonable for it. I think he needs money for another project. So if it's available later in the summer, Sean here, this guy right here, might go see if he can get his clutches on that. I might be able to horse trade some parts and possibly snag that. Now that'll make the Ranger Scoot. That's 500 horse all day, every day, that thing. Is that why they did that? It's because it's LS top end's cheaper? Yeah, I suppose it is. I mean, they're stock heads. They're probably on all the 4.8, 5.3, 6-liter LS engines, those heads. Another thing guys are doing too is the Clevor engine. It's a Windsor bottom end with a Cleveland style head on the top. And if you guys look at the Mickey Thompson 63.5 Galaxy, the lightweight Galaxy, it was a Cleveland bottom end with a hemispherical Hemi head on it, 427. And that thing made some grunt, let me tell you. That tunnel ram, dual tunnel ram, dual carbs. You know what, Jody? I wouldn't pay 50 or 60 grand for a truck even if I had it. I just can't. I'd rather drive a piece of crap than have something like that. And the new ones aren't that great anyway. Thanks for looking at 08. 5.4 should be fine. Thanks for the info. Yeah, these boys know, man, for sure. You know, they've seen these engines. I don't know much about them, to be completely honest, other than they're modern and they don't really tickle my fancy. Trucks aren't trucks, they're family haulers. Yeah, and the other thing I don't like about them too is there's just so much electronics, boys, so much computer crap. Like the damn door sensors and stuff, and rain sensors in the windshield, and this sensor and that sensor, and yeah, you know, I gotta stand on one foot, turn around 3 times, and chant in order to get the doors open or to start the thing. I'm just not into that, right? I like getting into the thing, 2 pumps to the floor, hit the key, and she's singing, right? That's kind of my deal. They don't use the new trucks. Yeah, well, it's the same thing with the new Jeeps. How many times have you guys ever seen a modern Jeep that had all the big 35-inch tires and the big racks and the axe and the friggin' big fuel canister and the big roof rack? How many times have you guys actually seen one of those things that was actually dirty and they used it off-road? I think it's just for going to Tim Hortons or the coffee shop to say, everybody, look at my Jeep. Personally, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but I've never seen one of them things. The ones that I do see that are used off-road here are like old Land Rovers, CJ7s, older beat-up Jeeps, and those things are ran in the mud, hard in the mud. Chevy LS heads on a small block Ford, and it made over 400 horsepower. Oh, okay. I know that the Vortec head does flow well. I never see them dirty. I don't either. I just see these guys driving these things around, but I don't ever see them using them for their intended purpose. Yeah, yeah. For sure, buddy. Yeah, the Jeep boys. Yeah, they're a funny lot. But anyway, boys, I enjoyed talking with you tonight, but I'm going to cut her short. Well, it's not really short. We've been at this an hour. I'm going to go out and let my dog out here. It looks like he's circling the fences here to get out. Probably going to pee. Hopefully not on the floor. It would be nice. But thanks a lot for bearing with me with the problems I was having with the electronics. Again, those damn electronics are getting in the way. Appreciate having you all on here. I'll be sending regular channel updates through the community tab this week. You get a chance, drop me a line, say hello, give me a like or whatever. Find your channel URL and put it in the comments so that I can do some shout outs. That would be great. But anyway, thumbs up for War Amps. Stay classy, fellas. Have a great night. We'll talk to you all real soon. Cheers.